Origins of sexual orientation is that no single theory, no single explanation has been able to account for all cases of sexual orientation. So there's ideas that it's in part biological, that it's in part social, that it's in part individual choice, and yet no theory can really explain the different orientations that we all have.
The first thing that we have to keep in mind is that sexual orientation is very different from gender orientation, and it's one of the biggest mistakes that's made. So gender orientation is how you feel about whether you're a boy or a girl and to what extent you feel you're a boy or girl. Some people feel very strongly, some people feel less strongly. That's not what we're talking about. When we talk about sexual orientation, we're talking about who you're interested in terms of your sexual interests, in terms of your libido. So what we know about the origins is that for some people, it can start quite young. There's accumulating evidence that actually in males, there is a stronger biology to it. So when homosexuality appears in males, there have been studies of twins, and it is more common in identical twins, which tells us there might be some genetics to it, there might be some biology to it. This has not been found among women. Darrell had an interesting theory about the exotic becoming erotic. So his idea is that things that are different from you, when you realize that something is different from you, it becomes very, very appealing and very interesting, and you want to explore it. And so his feeling was that boys who spent too much time with girls as young boys and too much time with their mother, that girls were not different enough to them, so that when they hit puberty, what was actually seemed really different were boys, because they hadn't had enough exposure to boys. This is really not borne out much. It's something that is in a lot of books. It's something that gained a lot of steam for a while, but it's something that a lot of current research that is just starting to be published has not found a lot of support for.
There have been other studies as well looking at hormone levels, the kinds of hormones that a mother has when the baby is developing in utero, or that the baby is developing, could have a later impact on sexual orientation as well. So quite a bit of new and exciting research in this area is being done, but again, we're very cautious by some of these findings because the differences tend to be quite small and certainly don't explain all cases.
Although it's clear that we still haven't figured out what attracts us to other people, many psychologists are looking for common causes for attraction, regardless of orientation. Perhaps once we are closer to understanding all of the factors that cause us to be attracted to a person, once we have an understanding of the common ground among us all, we might then be able to tease out the variations that result in different sexual orientations.